Hello and welcome to this business abundance reading. I really hope you're doing well. So I just wanted to do a reading for business owners, especially if you might be feeling like financially things feel a bit difficult. Maybe sales have been slow. Maybe the bank account's running low and you're just looking for a bit of a boost in confidence. Just some guidance on maybe things you could be doing, mindset shifts that could really help you at this time. And I know for a fact that I have needed this kind of guidance a lot, so I thought that I would try pick a card video just solely related to abundance within your business. So I'm Debbie from Readings with Debbie, and I do videos for business owners, pick a card readings and card guidance reading for business owners, because I've been self-employed for 10 years and I know how much of a roller coaster self-employment can be. So in pick a card readings, it's really easy. All you need to do is choose either card 1, pile 2, pile 3. Usually what I would say is go towards the colour combination that first draws you in. It could be the card that pulled you in, or it could be the crystal, or it could be a combination of the two. So I would say go with what your gut said when you first saw the thumbnail of this video, the first pile you were pulled towards. And then go to the timestamp in the description, and then you can watch the reading for the relevant pile. Choose your pile and I'll see you in your reading. So hello, if you picked pile 1, and could have been a combination of like the pink and iridescent that drew you in with the crystal tower. It's got a bit of a iridescent glow going on. So we're just going to put your crystal there and let's get on with the reading. So I've created a deck called the Business Oracle for Female Entrepreneurs. I designed it to be like a business coach in your pocket, just to help you with the ups and downs of self-employment. There are cards on self-development, marketing, self-care, spirituality, and money, with a lot of cards being on self-care because it's so easy to burn out being self-employed. And if you like the look of this deck, when you see the cards, I'll put the link down below so you can order that deck. In the UK only at the moment. So let's get some cards out of my deck and see what guidance is going to come through for you for things you can do right now to improve your business finances, to boost your profits. And I've got my little lucky cat here as well, just to bring you some good luck at this time too, if things feel quite difficult. Okay, so we're going to get 3 cards from this deck, I think. Okay, so just remember as well, a lot of the cards in this reading might not be directly related to specific financial guidance, but it could be things that are a good idea to do to raise your vibration, raise your energy, and that's going to make you more magnetic to abundance. Okay, so from my deck we got Get Creative, which is never a bad thing. We got Exercise, pop over there, and I laughed because we got Abundance Mindset, which is probably the most like abundance related card in the deck, so I'm kind of not surprised that that came out there. Get Creative. So what I wanted to do with this card was just add a card in the deck about being creative for the fun of it. And sometimes we can get so dragged down and so serious by what's going on. If we're struggling, if it feels difficult to make sales, or like there's just not a lot happening right now, then I feel like the guidance coming through, it's talking about you trying to shift some of that energy, getting out of some of the worry, stress, and getting creative just for the fun of it. This can also mean getting creative in terms of your business, maybe thinking of new offers. You might be planning on doing some events, like just coming up with something a bit out of the box and a bit different, which could be a really good way to start improving your finances. I do feel though that they're talking about maybe take some time out and just do some creative activities just to get you in a little bit more of an inspired place, perhaps if you haven't been feeling inspired lately. And on the card, I just wanted to put on a few things that help me to get into that creative mindset if I've been getting stuck in serious energy, if that makes sense. So I put a camera. So you don't need to be a professional photographer. You could just maybe go out, take some photos. You could take some new shots for your social media, try and get creative, look at Pinterest for some ideas of like doing a little bit of a mini shoot for your business as well, just to change the energy there. I've got a chopping board there representing cooking. I love to cook, and I think you can be really creative when you cook. So you might have got in a rut with what you're eating, and just even changing that up and getting creative with your meals can even like give you a jump start in terms of your energy as well. And then I've also got some makeup brushes here. So I feel like makeup is something we can all play around with. We can express ourselves in that way. So it could just be setting aside some time to do some fun things like that as well. This card also talks about learning a new creative skill. So if you get invited to any kind of creative class or something fun to do socially, I really recommend going along to that, because I feel like that would shift your energy as well. So that card's great when it comes to shifting energy, just lots of different ideas, getting more creative, stepping into that creativity, and that will definitely raise your vibration and help you with abundance. I wasn't surprised that exercise came out pile 1 as well, because as you know, when we're like moving around, when we're feeling fit, we're feeling good, everything else tends to flow. When we're not moving around a lot, we can start to feel stagnant, that kind of thing. And it's usually when you really don't want to exercise, it's when you need to do it the most. So I do feel like pile 1, if you haven't been moving around as much as you'd like, this is just a little bit of a nudge to start. And I feel like this is gonna really give you a whole new lease of energy. You don't need to do something you don't enjoy. Do something fun that you actually like as well, like a dance class, whatever activities that you might be being drawn to at this time. It could be a fun activity with friends. It doesn't need to be anything too serious or isolated. And I do feel like that in combination with the creativity will shift your energy, and that's going to indirectly help you to bring more money into the business. And then the abundance mindset card. Okay, so this is a really nice visual if you do want to visualize yourself bringing more money in. And we've got the woman there with the notes and the coins raining down out of nowhere, just from the sky, basically. I feel like, well, this card in general is about abundance mindset, but I feel like the first thing I want to say is that often we have very set ideas on ways that money can come in through the things that you're offering, your offers, your events, and we can get into the mindset where we think that's the only possible way we can get paid. And maybe it's a good time to just step out of that and really be open to money coming in through unexpected ways, like in the next few weeks, people contacting you to do things that maybe feel a bit out of your comfort zone, or you haven't even really put that out there in terms of something you're selling. But yeah, I see this as a really positive card as well in terms of the visual depiction of money coming in for you. And I do feel like things are going to start to turn around for you in the next few weeks, pile 1. But it is definitely a good time to work on your abundance mindset, to get those law of attraction books out. You might have seen a book recently that caught your eye that is talking about manifestation. So it's a really good time to have a look at that. If you've been drawn to something, get that book, listen to that podcast, or even you can get an oracle card deck to help you to switch your mindset into more of an abundance mindset. And I'm going to put the names of the decks I'm using today in the description below. So if you feel like an oracle card deck would help you, it's like an easy way a fun way to shift your mindset, then definitely go and have a look at those links, because the decks that I'm using in this reading are all good for abundance as well. But yeah, there's so many things you can do to shift your mindset when it comes to abundance, pile one. You know, reading books, using money related oracle card decks. You could follow money coaches, people who are experts in manifesting money, be in their Facebook groups, do some sort of coaching if you've been guided to do money coaching, work with a coach around money at this time as well. But there's lots of really inexpensive ways you can improve your abundance mindset. As I said before, it could just be an inspiring book that really just like turns on its head the way you've been looking at something around money in your business. Or, as I said, an oracle card deck that just makes it more fun to do the learning around abundance as well. Okay, so let's use another deck at this point to get some more guidance on how to improve your business finances right now, pile one. Okay, so we have got the Alchemist. Put her there. And the Catalyst. Wow, okay, so to me, just the wording on those seems extremely similar. Like there's both very strong energies with those words. An alchemist is like a magician, somebody that can turn one thing into another thing. A catalyst is something that ignites a spark, that starts a chemical reaction, you know, like so some very strong energies coming there for you, pile one. These are both archetype cards in this deck as well, which is like major arcana in tarot. So yeah, there is definitely a strong abundance message here for you. So the Alchemist is all about transforming your experience into wealth. So there's a message here, pile one, around it's about packaging your experience up and being able to create abundance from that, if that makes sense. You could be somebody that already does this. You could be a coach. You could be a healer. You could already be creating offers which take your experience and package them in a certain way to help your clients with them. And this is very much about that. And it's all about transforming knowledge into something that helps other people, but also will bring you that abundance you deserve, that money dropping into your bank that you deserve as well. And this is just reminding you that you've got so much experience that you can transform into forms of wealth, forms of abundance that will come into your business. You can do this through teaching, coaching, and it's just about converting this wisdom into something that's of value to other people. So it's on the Get Creative card here. So it could just be about getting creative about something you're already offering and maybe repackaging it in another way to appeal more to your ideal clients. It could be that you're offering some sort of coaching program that you can tweak in a way to bring in more abundance. You could add more into the program and charge more for it, or you could do a lower ticket program that you charge less for, but more people are more likely to buy it, if that makes sense. It's basically about you being compensated for your knowledge. So I think sometimes we can overcomplicate things, can't we, pile one, and like think that we need to make these, you know, really complex offerings. And I feel like your guides are just saying to you, like, fiercely share your knowledge and what you have to offer, and don't be afraid to put a price on that as well. You could have just done a course which has really helped you, and it could be a case of you repurposing that and turning it into something that you could sell to your clients, obviously without copying. You might be just overlooking something you're really good at or that comes easy to you that you could actually create into a product or an offer for your clients as well. And often what holds us back is just that we're unwilling to see the value that our experience holds as well. Like we just brush it to one side and say like, oh, like everybody must know that. It's no big deal what I've learned. But your guides are literally telling you that there's something you could really easily make money by packaging up your knowledge and selling that, because people need to hear what you have to say, okay? And the affirmation is, transmute your experience into wisdom and your wisdom into wealth. The world is waiting. So I love that card for you. And I do feel like it's very much about you getting creative about something that you're already offering as well, if that makes sense. And next we've got the catalyst. So I love this, and I feel like this is very much linked in with what's already being said. So the catalyst is somebody that reaches deep into other people's souls and awakens them, okay? And if you're watching this, this is probably part of what your work does in some respects. Somebody that wakes people up, that helps people to see their full potential. And I feel like what's going on right now, Pile One, is that something is being activated within you, and you might not have noticed it yet, or you might have an inkling that something is changing. You're going through a transformation, but you're not totally sure what's happening. This is all about new talents emerging that you didn't even know you had within yourself. And it really links in with this alchemist card so well, I feel, because the card was talking about packaging up what you already know, but it could well be that you are at the very beginning of some sort of a transformation that you can then, when you've been through that, you can then very much use your experience to help others. And this could be a bit of a prediction in terms of what's going on. It could be talking about in a few months' time, when you've completed a transformation that you might just be embarking on or you're already in. I feel like that's talking about that kind of energy. New talents coming through that you didn't even know you had, hidden talents. And I feel like this transformation that's happening with you is going to bring you more wealth in. It's going to bring you more abundance, because you will be able to take this transformation and use that to help other people, and be able to make really, really good money from it as well, and charge what it's worth. Pile One, this is great, because I feel like it's not even like you need to go and spend thousands on another course or do anything particularly difficult to bring in more abundance. You might just need to be patient while you go through this transformation. And then I feel like you will be able to put this transformation into something like a course, into art, into something that you can sell. And it's just going to feel so aligned, and you're going to feel like it's such a nice way to make money, because what you're selling is really helping other people, and there's such a great exchange of energy through what you're giving out to what you're then getting in return from the people buying what you have to offer as well. So I love those cards for you. I feel like they're really powerful. Next, we're going to get some Angels of Abundance cards for you. Okay, so we have got have courage to ask for and accept help, which I'm just going to put there. And we've got conscious consumer as well, which is kind of about spending habits. So we'll look at that more in a second. So have courage to ask for and accept help. Asking for help is a sign of strength, as is accepting it as it is offered to you. Very often when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as give it to others as you are guided. So Pile One, I'm getting the feeling that you might be the kind of person that does kind of like is very self-reliant, very independent, and you really struggle to ask for help, especially when it comes to finances, okay? You could be somebody that helps other people a lot. You lend money to other people quite a lot, but you struggle to do that yourself. And if you're in a situation right now where things are really difficult, I feel like your guides are saying, have the courage to just let somebody tide you over for a little while. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you've failed. It just takes the pressure off a bit to have that little bit of financial support from somebody else. It's a very tricky subject, because so many of us in business, we are self-reliant, we are proud, we don't want to accept loans off people, that kind of thing. But if this is causing you a lot of stress, the current financial situation, then this is just all about how can you make things a bit smoother, a bit less stressful right now. And this doesn't necessarily mean going to a family or friend and getting help. It might be that there are some business grants around right now that you don't know about that could really tide you over a difficult period, especially, you know, when the cards are talking about you going through these transformations, packaging up your experience and using that to help other people. That can take time. That often isn't an overnight thing to create like a course or a bigger project, a bigger piece of work. So if you really struggle going to friends or family, this could be just about, can you find a business grant or some sort of business support that will help you at this time, or maybe for the next few months. You could be being tested just to get better at asking for help. Sometimes I know that that's happened with me as well. And yeah, so I really hope that resonates with you right now. And you may already be thinking about asking for some sort of help, and this is just a nudge to actually go ahead and do that, because you don't deserve to be stressed out or depressed at this time. You deserve to be supported as things are changing, moving, emerging. So allow yourself to have that support, okay? And if you're watching this, I'm guessing you're spiritual, so just ask your guides in your head or out loud for help. Just say, universe, guides, spirit, please help me with abundance. Please help send more money my way. Please help send me some ideal clients that will be a great match for my business, and kind of like ask for the help. It might seem strange at first, but it really does work, okay? I feel like often our guides are kind of sitting on a substitute's bench, waiting for us to ask them for help. And if we don't ask them to go on the pitch, so to speak, they'll just sit there twiddling their thumbs. So it might just be something simple as saying like, come on, help me out, I'm really struggling here. And repeatedly asking your guides for help as well. Then we've got a card, Conscious Consumer. This is just about kind of like your buying decisions, buying ethically. I don't know if this is something you may have been like doing already or thinking about. It's not directly related to your business profits, I guess, but I believe money is energy, and how it goes in and how it comes out is all, you know, we have to be conscious around it. So there's just some guidance here around really being conscious about where you're spending your money as well. Are you spending it in an ethical and environmentally friendly way? And just about being really careful about where you're buying things like fashion from. You know, there's a lot of fast fashion around, and the way it's being made is really bad for the environment and really harmful for the people that are making it. So it's talking about choosing fair trade, organic, living simply, purchasing only what you need as well. So that's really striking out with me, because I struggle sometimes with when I have to just purchase what I need and not what I want. I'm somebody that is if I'm in the supermarket or out shopping, if it's something new, like in terms of food in the supermarket, I get overexcited and I tend to buy things that I don't need, that kind of thing. So it could just be that at this time it is just about tightening the purse strings a bit. Sometimes that can feel boring or depressing, but it might just be, if things are feeling difficult right now, just maybe for the next month, just being really conscious about how and where you're spending. And if you are spending on things you don't need, then just before you press purchase, then maybe sleep on it or step away for 24 hours and really think about, do you need that thing? Because then obviously that means more money in your bank if you're not buying things that you don't need. But it's also about choosing ethical, buying local, buying from small businesses, you know, maybe buying organic food, which is a bit more expensive, but, you know, it's going to be better for you. Buying from companies that don't invest their profits in wars, that kind of thing. So just, yeah, I feel like it feels slightly unrelated, but at the same time it is related in terms of your spending, you know, which sometimes we don't consider when we're looking at like talking about business profits and sales and bringing the money in. It's also important to look at how the money's going out as well. Okay, so next I just wanted to get us a crystal card to see if there's any crystals right now that can help you in terms of your abundance. Okay, so we have got pink sapphire. Just going to put that there. Pink sapphire is about forgiveness. That seems to be the general quality benefit of it. It teaches forgiveness and helps us in moving past old fears into a space of being open to giving and receiving love. It opens the heart and eases the emotions, especially to those related to relationship wounds as well. So yeah, like, as you probably know, with abundance, with money, it's not simple. Often all areas of our lives are having an impact on how much wealth and how much money we're able to bring in. And often we have got blocks going on, unhealed wounds, things like that as well. So I feel like pile one, they're talking about forgiveness. Do you need to forgive yourself in some way, or to forgive other people in some way around things that may have gone on recently or further back in time when it comes to money? This could be maybe the way you've dealt with money historically. You know, it could have always been a bit of a battle with you, but is it time to forgive yourself for that now? Because maybe you didn't know what you know now. Okay, a lot of us weren't aware of abundance and law of attraction when we were younger, and it's only something that we're learning about as we get older and as we get further along the spiritual path. I'm getting here that there's something around maybe a deservingness issue, like letting go of the belief that you don't deserve the wealth and prosperity that you actually do completely deserve, pile one. And forgive yourself for what you didn't know or didn't do. And this is just about doing the healing work, healing the person that thought that your destiny was to have lack and scarcity, okay? Because that is not you. Like, look at you. You are the alchemist. You are the catalyst. You have these very, very powerful energies going on with you, pile one. And I think a lot of us on this spiritual path have been through extremes where we've, you know, been in a very difficult place with money, with being in lack, being in scarcity. And this is just saying that that isn't what the universe wants for you, okay? And forgive the universe for seeming to have disappeared on you at times. You might have felt really unsupported, linking into this accepting help. There may have been times where you've just felt so alone and that there was nobody around to help you, okay? And you were never abandoned. That's just come into my head. The universe never abandoned you. Everything was a teaching moment, okay? And forgive yourself for getting in your own way, and forgive other people for not being who you wanted them to be and maybe being there to support you in the past as well. I feel like it's very much about clearing away the old stories to make room for new stories, pile one, right now. And I love this because it links in with the Alchemist card. It's talking about telling a new story of overcoming challenges and owning your strength. And the Alchemist card was all about you taking your knowledge and experience and transforming that into something that can help other people, that you can sell, okay? And the universe wants you to have everything you need. So I feel like it's just really, really believing that at this time, pile one, and just clearing away all of that past difficulty, challenge, the crap, basically, and just forgiving yourself and everybody else involved when it comes to any stories that you've got around abundance, okay? If you feel guided, then you might want to find some pink sapphire to support you at this time as well too. So I really love that card and how it relates to abundance as well. So finally, I am going to get you a couple of money affirmations. Thank you. So first, I'm open to receive even more glorious money. And we've got the lotus flower They're a massive symbol of transformation. The lotus flower grows in the pond up through the mud and then blossoms on the surface into this gorgeous flower. I feel like that ties in with a bit of the story that came out there as well. And I like that the fact that the word glorious is used here, because how many times do we put a negative energy around money because of things that have happened in the past? And I really like this affirmation because it's being really positive about money. It's saying it's glorious. A lot of teachers out there right now are saying to look at money as an energy, which I think is a really good way of looking at it, without like a positive or negative conversation. It's just energy. Some teachers look at money and see it as feminine energy as well. So whatever you need to do to improve your relationship with it, I think seeing it as like a neutral energy sometimes takes away all of those horrible stories that we've like attached to money over the years as well. So this is a good affirmation for you to use over the coming weeks. I'm open to receive even more glorious money. I think sometimes as well, we logically think that we're open to receive, but then we're not aware of all the subconscious things going on, like the money stories, the lack of forgiveness, the difficulties in asking for and accepting help as well. You know, maybe our spending habits and things that we don't really like about ourselves in terms of how we treat money. So yeah, use that affirmation over the coming weeks. Maybe write it down and put it somewhere prominent. Then we've got money is important and good. Okay, the money's kind of like on a scale there. Again, loving the fact that the word good is being used just to really fly in the face of all of those negative attachments that we may have used when we've talked about money in the past. And money is important as well. That's a really interesting one, isn't it? Because there could have been times, if you're like me, where I kind of just didn't want to even think about money or deal with it or like have anything to do with it. I just wanted to ignore it as much as possible because it was too scary and too difficult to actually deal with the situation I was in. You know, like if you're in debt, that kind of thing. And I'm just remembering something I was taught, that money likes to be shown that it's important. Money likes to be recognized. Money likes to be acknowledged as well. So one thing you can do to help with this is to go on a money hunt and just look around your house and in your car if you have one, and see what you can find. Also go out for a walk and see if you find any coins in the street, and start to realize that the penny is worth acknowledging, worth celebrating. A penny that you found on the street, which might seem a bit silly right now, but if you can start really small and then work up, then that can really help with appreciation of money, abundance mindset, realizing that, you know, if we don't appreciate the penny, the 5p, then how are we going to appreciate the bigger amounts? Okay, so I really like that affirmation, and I feel like they tie in really well together. But yeah, acknowledge money, like thank money for the fact it's just enabled you to pay that bill. Like switch your thoughts around in terms of, oh God, I've got to pay that bill again, and switch it to, well, what has that bill given me? Has it paid for my electricity that's helped me to do, you know, so many different things? Or is it the water that I drink, or is it XYZ? So like try and switch it on its head and just get more into that gratitude mindset as well. I feel like that could be really helpful. I use an app called Gratitude Jar, which means that anything good that happens during the day, you can just pop it in the virtual jar. And then at the end of the week or whenever you want, you can shake the jar and it churns out positive messages as well, or the things that you've been grateful for. So that's a really nice small way to start that gratitude practice or get into that gratitude mindset as well. So pile one, I really hope you enjoyed this and that it made sense. I just feel your energy so strongly of you being an alchemist and a catalyst. And even if things are difficult right now and you're going through a lot of change, I feel like you're going to turn this experience, this transition that you're going through right now, into something so amazing that you can create so much abundance from and help other people at the same time as well. Remember to do these things to help to raise your vibration as well. The exercise, the getting creative for the fun of it. Also looking at what you're offering in your business creatively and seeing if you can tweak anything. Doing the abundance mindset work at this time, asking for help, looking at where you're spending and really thinking about that. And then doing the forgiveness work as well to turn your abundance around. And I think if you can just put all these into play, pal one, in the next few weeks, you're going to see yourself making huge strides forwards, more money dropping into your account, saving more money as well. So I'm really excited for you, and I really hope that this resonated. Please let me know in the comments if it did, and don't forget to subscribe if you liked this reading. And again, if you like the look of any of these decks or my deck, then the links are in the description below as well. I also offer personalised readings at this time. I offer a number of different business readings and one-to-one coaching. The details are in the description below as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. So hello, pal 2, and welcome to your business abundance reading. You may have been guided by the purple color of this deck, or the crystal itself, or the combination of the colors. So I'm going to put your crystal there, and let's get into your reading. So first of all, I'm going to be using my own oracle card deck, which is called the Business Oracle for Female Entrepreneurs. I designed this to be like a business coach in your pocket. I've been self-employed for 10 years and it's been a real roller coaster. And this is my third business. And I realized there weren't really very many oracle card decks out there for business owners. So I thought, okay, wow, I'll make one. And I'll tell you the story of that in another video because it's been quite a journey. But yeah, there are 5 categories of cards: self-development, marketing, self-care, spirituality, and money. And a big emphasis on self-care, actually, because it's so easy to burn out having a business. I just really thought that we as business owners needed a bit more support, and that's where the deck comes in handy. So I'm going to show you some of the cards now. So let's get three cards from this deck. Just guidance, please, about how to improve your abundance, your profits at this time. Interesting. So we've got cards from 3 different categories. So we have got vision board, we have got plan social media, and we have got retreat as well. So we have got a self-development card, we have got a marketing card and a self-care card there as well. So vision board, so it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because so many times we're kind of guided to make vision boards to help us to bring in the wealth, the abundance that we want to achieve. And you could be somebody who makes vision boards a lot, or you may never have done one before. But I feel like this coming out at this point is just a nudge for you to create a vision board for your business, pal 2. I think that will be a really good thing at this time, just to get really clear on what it is that you want to bring in. You can do a vision board for the next month, the next 3 months, the next year, whatever time frame you want. It can be handy to have shorter term and longer term ones as well. And there's numerous ways you can do a vision board. You can do it the traditional way with cardboard and cut out pictures from magazines, words, images, things that you want to achieve. You could also use Canva as well, because that means you can drag images from the internet and kind of use any image that you want, so it's easy to find what you need. But whatever way you prefer to do it, I feel like now would be a really good time to do the vision board. You might have got into a bit of a rut or started to panic about finances and what's going on. So this can be a really good way just to step back. It can be a nice creative project as well. Give yourself a few hours just out of the business and just thinking about what you want to achieve, what you want to bring in. And maybe at the same time, yes, be ambitious, but don't be overly ambitious to the point where if you're setting a goal for next month, like a target of the amount you want to you want to make in a month, try and make it realistic, but stretch it as well. Feeling like you're struggling right now, just try not to set goals that are too big too soon, because you might just pull yourself down. But do use the vision board to set goals, to set targets. It might just be that you veered off the path a bit and you need to come back and set new goals, get clear about what it is that you really want. Are you chasing what you want, or are you kind of looking at what other people are telling you to achieve, if that makes sense? But I feel like the vision board is a really good practical way to get started after this reading, pile 2. Something you can do just to get your head clear, have some fun creating a board and really thinking about what it is that you want to achieve and making it fun to achieve it as well. So on the right here, the self-care card, we have retreat. And usually when this card jumps out, pile 2, there is some sort of a need for you to step back a bit. It might be that you've been working really hard, over giving, that kind of thing, and you're just trying to give from a place of, you're depleted and you don't have that much to give, but you're giving and giving and giving to try and make sales, bring the money in, but you're giving from a place of lack, and that energetically often doesn't work, or people can pick up on that. And there's nothing wrong with taking a couple of days, even a week if you can, just to do the things you love and top yourself back up. I've actually just done that this week and I'm feeling so much better about everything. And I just needed to watch amazing films, read books, watch TV that I really enjoy, cook amazing food that I love, that kind of thing, and just put work on the back burner. But sometimes if we're struggling financially, that seems like a really counterintuitive thing to do, right? It's like, we need to work harder. Like, I haven't made that much money this month, so surely it makes sense to work harder. But sometimes that's the worst thing you can do. It's just a case of stepping away for a bit, resetting your energy, and then going back to it when you're in like a filled up place, when you're ready to give. And especially if your work is where you're like a coach or a healer and you're giving a lot, it's very easy to get depleted without realizing it, right? It happens to me a lot. So I feel like your guides are just nudging you. Like, if you feel like this is resonating with you, hopefully it will give you permission to maybe take a couple of days off. It could be longer than that. This could also be guidance as well about taking some time to actually go on a retreat. This could be a weekend retreat, a week retreat, a retreat abroad, some sort of spiritual retreat. This could be a really great way of giving yourself some really high quality self-care, because you're going to be focusing on self-care for a specific length of time. It might be that you've been called to go on a retreat this year, pile 2. So this is also a nudge as well to maybe think about doing that as one of your holidays, one of your trips this year, because that would be amazing to reset your energy as well and help you bring in more abundance. So much of abundance, money, is about energy and our vibration. And if we're trying to give from a depleted place, often our clients can pick up on that as well. So usually stepping back is like the first thing that I try and do now if I'm struggling to make sales, if that makes sense. And then our third card from my deck is plan social media. So this is just a bit of a nudge to create a social media plan, pile 2. It might be that social media is not something you enjoy. It might be that, like, I only really want to post when I feel called to, pile 2. But sometimes it's best to have a bit of a plan, to have some little reels prepared, that kind of thing, especially if you are going to take some time off, just so people are still seeing some content from you. Not to say that you should push yourself to do that if you don't feel like it, but there's just something here around just creating a bit of a plan, pile 2. It doesn't need to be massively detailed, but it could just be that you are thinking about the week ahead or the coming month, and some different content that you can share. You can also try and make that as fun as possible as well to do, so it doesn't feel like a chore. And it might just be a case as well of you maybe needing to do a bit of a retreat at this point, step back a bit, but you could schedule your social media to keep your content being posted while you're taking a step back as well. So, you know, we can do all that nowadays. We can schedule Instagram, LinkedIn, all those things. So it doesn't need to seem like you've disappeared to your followers if you do need to take some time out, especially if you are a healer or somebody that is on a spiritual path. We often need to take a step back and have those times away from what we do. I feel like we can't work like traditional business owners where it's all go all the time. It doesn't really work for us, okay? So I think the more we accept that we need to do these retreats quite often, every few months even for me, I feel, it's normalizing that, but also realizing we can plan our socials so it doesn't need to drop off the face of a cliff when we need to look after ourselves, okay? So next we are going to get some cards from another deck. All of the information about the decks are in the description. I'm going to link them below. Oh, interesting. So we have got metamorphosis, transformation. We've got the butterflies there, obviously a big sign of transformation. And we have got prosperous overflow as well. Prosperous overflow. So let's just delve a bit more into what they mean. Okay, pile 2. So metamorphosis is all about embracing change. Okay, so it could be right now that you are going through changes in your business, that there are transitions happening. Some things are falling away. You might be in like a kind of in-between void state as well. Kind of could be being shown up with the retreat card there. And as we all know, change can be frightening, but there's so much potential for new levels of abundance that comes with that as well. It's almost like the snake shedding skin. You're shedding the old ways and stepping into new ways, which are going to feel more aligned and be able to bring you more abundance in as well. If you're not going through a big change, this card is like nudging you to change things, pile 2, okay? This might already be happening like in a smaller way, and you might be feeling that you are stepping into this bigger period of change at this time. But I feel like your guides are saying that things have to change. Does that make sense? It might just be tweaking your business to go in a slightly different direction or offer different things, or you could be having a total pivot in terms of what you do, going in a new direction. But I feel like the change that's going on is going to be really positive, and it's going to take you to new levels of abundance. It's not a time to cling to the past, okay? Don't cling on to something that you're doing right now that is no longer working for you, because that's just going to prolong the challenges. Release what isn't serving you anymore and allow the change to transform you into a more abundant, more aligned version of yourself at this time. The more you can let go and move on, the easier this is going to be, pile 2, okay? Embrace the change no matter how scary the uncertainty is. You might have already been through lots of change in your life where you've been in the in-between state where you've just got to be so patient. And the best thing to do is to retreat, to just kind of do nothing for a while and let things take shape themselves. Try not to push or force things, if that makes sense. So the other message here is, if you want to see your finances or any form of abundance, as in the amount of free time that you have, your health, that kind of thing, if you want to see your abundance change, then you must be willing to welcome change on a deep and personal level. So yeah, I feel like this isn't just talking about kind of making little tweaks. This is deep transformation, pile 2, okay? So yeah, be gentle with yourself if and when you're going through this change, because it's never the easiest of times, especially if you're pivoting your business or thinking about going down a different route. You've got to be really gentle with yourself, tying in with this again. But I feel like making this deep change is going to bring you the abundance that you want and you deserve, okay? And next we've got prosperous overflow. This is a really positive card, and I feel like it's saying that if you do make these changes that you're being guided to make, pile 2, then massive wealth is coming in for you if you're brave enough to make these changes, okay? You've got to get ready to receive this overflow of abundance. Expect for it, look for it, and invite it, okay? So this is about not shutting yourself off, pile 2, to the abundance that wants to come in, okay? It also says it's talking about making a plan for what you will do when this excess money comes in, this excess time, these things that you're asking for. It's kind of like tying in with the vision board, and we've also got the planning aspect here as well. So it's like, yeah, make the vision board and figure out what you want, but the next step of that is to like really step into how it will feel when you have the abundance that you want, and create a plan for what you're going to do with it as well. So if you're earning $5,000 a month, what are you going to spend that on? You know, how are you going to spend that? How is that going to improve your life? Don't just think of the figure, then take that a step further and like what you're going to do with it, if that makes sense. Okay. Get comfortable with the idea of having more than enough, and familiarize yourself with the feeling of having massive abundance before it even arrives. Kind of like a law of attraction staple. It's like acting as if. So act as if you already have what you want, which is not easy to do, pal, too. It's not the easiest thing. But if you want a new house, go and view houses and put yourself in the energy of that new house. If you want a new car, go and test drive cars and be in that energy. Okay. That's so important. It's not enough to just make the vision board. You've got to take the action. You've got to make the vision board come to life, if that makes sense. Okay. If you take the time before the overflow comes in to get comfortable with the idea of it, you're going to keep yourself open to it and ensure that the prosperity can flow easy to you. And I think that this is such an overlooked step when it comes to abundance mindset and the law of attraction. We often have these big dreams, but then we don't take the time to actually really sit with how it's going to feel to have that. You probably know that people like lottery winners often win and then they very quickly spend the money and end up with nothing because they're not comfortable with having those huge amounts of wealth that they thought they needed to make them happy. And it's a similar kind of thing. It's about actually welcoming in the flood of abundance before you have it, getting comfortable with the idea of it, like actually taking time to feel how it would feel to get what you want before you get it. And that's going to make it easier for it to flow to you. So I feel like that is is deep guidance there that is really good to know, because often we overlook these bits, right? We do the vision boards and we do the self-care, that kind of thing, but we forget to do the next steps, right? So I feel like this is what these cards are saying in terms of like embracing the changes, welcoming it, being really happy that, you know, even if things are feeling upside down right now, embracing that, because you know deep down, you trust that that is making way for far more abundance in your life. So next, we're just going to get a couple more abundance cards from another deck. Okay, pile 2. So we have got release jealousy and we've got conscious consumer. Okay, so I'm just going to put these here. So these cards have some guidance on there, so I'll read this out. So jealousy is an affirmation that you don't have something and the universe manifests exactly as you affirm. Let other people's successes inspire rather than frustrate you. If they can have it, so can you. Okay, and this is a really good reminder. Like, you might not count yourself as a jealous person. Like, I like to think that I've done a lot of work on myself, so I don't really feel jealous that much anymore. But in the world we live in with social media and everything, it's so difficult not to feel jealous at any point. And it's human and it's normal. So I'm not saying to stop being human, but I think the guidance here is just to try and identify any jealousy that might be coming up for you right now in terms of when you're looking at other people and what they have. And seeing it in this way, jealousy is an affirmation that you don't have something and the universe manifests that. So yeah, when we're looking at what they have and the fact we don't have it, then the universe reflects that back to us. It's putting us in a bad energy and we're looking at what we want and then we're actually kind of like pushing it away. So yeah, the main thing with jealousy that I always have to remind myself about is letting other people's successes inspire you rather than frustrating you, and seeing them as somebody who's showing the way. Okay, and I actually just read a post on social media about this morning, so this is really interesting. Yeah, flip the script, flip it on its head, look at the people that you're kind of like, I wish I had that, and just let them inspire you and motivate you to do what you need to do to go down that path and to achieve what you want to achieve, you know, because if they can have it, so can you. You know, it is possible. Somebody is doing it. Yeah. So, yeah, is this resonating with you? Are you happy to admit that? Sometimes we don't want to admit when we're jealous, but I think we're all human and we all feel this. But I really like spinning it and letting it inspire you rather than like annoying you and getting you down. Okay, it's a really good way to flip the script and to shift your energy around that as well. And then we've got conscious consumer. So this is about spending, pile 2. And it's all about your spending and where you decide to spend your money. It's talking about buying ethically, environmentally friendly. So this could be shopping local, shopping from small businesses instead of big businesses, making sure you're buying environmentally friendly products, cruelty-free products, checking online if you're not sure what those are, investing in fair trade and organic goods, living simply, purchasing only what you need, okay? So you might be like me where I'm very like shiny object syndrome, and if I'm in the supermarket or somewhere, if there's something new, I'm like, oh my god, that's new, I need it, instead of realizing that I don't actually need it. And just being a bit more aware around your spending, maybe not being, you know, if you want to buy something online, like leaving it in the shopping basket for 24 hours and actually going back to it and going, do I really want that? You can take your credit card details out of things like Amazon just to give you a bit more time, like to think about it before you buy. Those kind of little tricks and tips going on. But yeah, like this is a business abundance reading, and we're talking about how you can make more, bring more into your business. But abundance is all about energy, and it brings in things like, you know, self-care, your vibration, might be going on emotionally, like in terms of feelings like jealousy, but also everything is linked. So how you spend your money is linked to what you're bringing in. So it's just a nudge to really look at what is going out of your account, where it's going, what kind of companies it's going to, and really, if you can, like clean it up in terms of making sure you're not buying products from companies that are doing really dodgy things with their profits, if that makes sense. And also, you might just need a couple of months just living really simply, stripping everything back, you know, like letting your bank account like build back up again, trying not to spend too much. So it might just be that is the right energy for you to be in right now, spending wise. Next, what I want to do is get a crystal card just to give you a crystal that you could be using over the next few weeks just to help you to create more abundance, bring more abundance in. Interesting. So you have got black tourmaline, pile 2, which I know is a protection crystal. Black tourmaline is very much a good one for protecting you from negative energy. So black tourmaline is all about shielding and protection, having healthy boundaries, repelling unwanted energies, okay? So in specifically regarding money, this is talking about healthy boundaries, building trust, and that's so important when it comes to money and finances. This is talking about being aware of any tendency to be unclear or insecure about the flow of money between or among you and your circle, your family, your friends, that kind of thing. This is kind of giving me the energy of like lending money between friends or family members, and maybe there being resentments around that. There's also the energy of maybe imbalances between, say, if you're out with friends, you might pick up the tab, that kind of thing. People might expect you to pay for things. There's kind of the energy around that. There's some sort of energy of like imbalance, if that makes sense, when it comes to this crystal, when it comes to in terms of prosperity. And it's talking about checking in to make sure that people are comfortable with how prosperity moves from person to person within the group as well. The energy of this crystal is that we're meant to help each other and share our prosperity. And it's about making sure you've got healthy boundaries as you work with others in ways that involve money and wealth, okay? So this could be just about having healthy boundaries around what you're charging in your business as well. Being comfortable about your pricing and the value that you're giving for what you're offering as well. Making sure that people aren't trying to get too many discounts out off you, or like force you into bringing your prices down, that kind of thing. Like holding firms in terms of the value that you offer. But also, yeah, just in terms of the people around you as well, just making sure that people aren't overstepping boundaries when it comes to money seems to be the big message here. Tourmaline is a valuable stone for sensitive empaths and anyone susceptible to absorbing the energy of others. So if you are spiritual, I'm guessing you are if you're watching this, or you're an empath, I think everybody needs black tourmaline to actually have on them. You could wear it as a pendant. It's just so good to help you to stop absorbing the energy of everything else. When you wear it on your body or carry it, it captures incoming negative energy and transmutes it into usable energy. It helps you work through old stuff from a neutral perspective as well. Black tourmaline as well is talking about boundaries, and this is just in general, not specifically about prosperity, but there's something here around having a balance between the time you spend alone and retreating and the time you spend with other people. If you've been neglecting yourself or giving out too much or spending too much time with other people, you might just need to retreat and spend more time alone to remind you that you're a human being and not a human doing. You don't need to keep sacrificing yourself. You don't need to keep feeling overwhelmed. And it's a good idea to put the healthy boundaries in place right now to raise your vibration again, which is then going to make it easier for you to accept more abundance. So be really mindful of if you need to spend the time by yourself soon, pile 2. And then when you're around other people, making sure that they're people that accept you entirely exactly as you are, and they're not wanting you to change, that kind of thing as well. It's being around the right people that raise your vibration. I think there's a saying that the main 5 people that we're around kind of reflects our energy. So really think about who you're spending time with and if they're the right people to be around for you to be increasing your abundance at this time, okay? And to finish, we're going to get 2 money affirmation cards. I love this because they're quite linked. So we've got money is all around me and there is hidden treasure everywhere. So they are pretty much saying exactly the same thing, pile 2, right? Money is all around me, there is hidden treasure everywhere. So I think sometimes if we're not feeling massively abundant right now, or we're not making that many sales and things feel a bit stuck, we tend to be like struggling to see the amount of abundance that there is around because we're not specifically feeling it ourselves. And these affirmation cards are just reminding you to shift back into that energy of like seeing money everywhere. You know, like even if it's not coming into our bank account specifically right now, we can still see money everywhere, okay? Like in your own house, look at all the things that you've bought that money has given to you in that sense, that kind of thing. There is hidden treasure everywhere. I love this because one way to kind of have fun with money and to get into a more playful energy with it is to go on a treasure hunt in your house or around where you live and just look around for money. If you don't use a lot of money, there might not be much of it in your house, but if you go on a walk, it's about even being grateful for finding a penny or 5p in the street and then repeating that and just seeing what you can find and just asking the universe to show you that there is abundance everywhere, okay? But I really love this because they're very, very similar cards, and not all the cards in this deck have such similar messages as well. So I feel like your guides are just reminding you that whatever's going on right now with your bank account, pile 2, that money is still all around you. There is hidden treasure everywhere. Abundance comes in so many different forms. It could just be right now that you need time out, that you need rest, okay? Your account's ticking over quite nicely, but that's the main thing that is necessary for you, just to fill yourself back up again, okay? To summarize, you're going through deep changes, this deep transformation, metamorphosis, and it's preparing you for this prosperous overflow, for this massive abundance coming in as well. And as I said with that card, it's about getting comfortable with that, even if you can't see it yet. And I feel like these affirmation cards are just an extension of that. You starting to really just embed into these beliefs that money is everywhere, money is all around. And even if you can't fully see it yet, believe it when I see it, but switching that to I'll see it when I believe it. So believe it first, right? Okay, pile 2. Okay, I really liked what came out for you. I think that there's some very practical things that you can do right now to help to improve your abundance, the vision board, but then obviously taking it further and really feeling into the emotions of having what you want, doing a bit of practical work, planning your social media, especially if you want to take a bit of time off, planning that out and scheduling it so you're still like your clients and your potential clients are still kind of seeing you and you're still in people's heads while if you do take some time out. Being gentle with yourself while you're going through this huge transformation, maybe working on seeing people who you may be a little bit jealous of as an inspiration instead of feeling jealous. Just having a look at your spending at this time as well, and having those healthy boundaries in terms of your friends, family, and your business too, which I feel is really going to help you to bring in more abundance too. So I really hope you enjoyed the reading, pile 2. I've put the links to all the decks down below, and if you like my cards and the look of my deck, then I'll put the link below so you can order that. I'm also offering personalised business readings. I'll put the links below. I do a 12-month year ahead reading, a 3-month reading with an actionable business plan in there as well. So the details of that will be below. And I'm also doing one-to-one business coaching to intuitive business coaching, which involves oracle and tarot, business astrology, and human design. So we're looking at business from a spiritual perspective as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to comment if this resonated with you, and also don't forget to subscribe as well so you'll get notified of future videos. Okay, bye. So hi there and welcome to your reading, pile 3. So you might have been guided to choose this pile due to this gorgeous amethyst agate tower, or maybe the design of the back of this deck. So I'm just going to put the crystal there and let's get into your reading. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull 3 cards from my own oracle card deck, which is the Business Oracle for Female Entrepreneurs. I'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. So let's get 3 cards just giving us some guidance on how we can improve our business finances, business abundance right now. We have got website, vision board, and energy healing. Okay, great. So website. So nowadays we can run a business without a website. It is actually possible, but your website is like your shop front. So it is where people can really get to see what you're about, what you offer, your story, that kind of thing. So I feel like there's a message here around updating your website if you already have one, to include the most recent information about your business. If you don't have a website, this can be a really good time to actually create one, and you can do that yourself using sites like Squarespace. It's completely possible to create your own site, or you might be feeling guided to work with a website designer just to give you that professional finish as well. And by doing this, I feel like this is going to bring you more sales. It might involve a little bit of investment, but I think in the long run it is going to be beneficial to your business to either have a website if you don't have one, or to update your website to maybe give it an upgrade, make it look more professional. This could also be talking about working on something like your SEO, search engine optimization, just to make sure that your website is being seen and that people can find it as well. Or it could be that you work with a branding expert if you want to update your branding as well. There's an element of that here, and include that on your website as well, just to make it look really good and to keep people on the website when they visit as well. This can also be guidance that you would be amazing at website design if that's something that interests you as well. Okay, but I definitely think there's something here around working on your website at this time, and that is definitely going to bring you in more sales and more abundance. Okay, great. Next, we have got vision board. So as you probably know, vision boards are a great way to get clear on what you want to manifest for your business. You might already be somebody that does lots of vision boards anyway, so you know how they work. If you don't, it is a creative exercise that you can do with your hands or online to really get clear on what you want to bring into your life. And you can completely do this for your business. I do business vision boards all the time, every month, sometimes for every season, for the year ahead. And you can do this by getting some cardboard and cutting pictures and words out of magazines and creating something like that you can put somewhere and keep looking at it, and that will keep you on track with your vision. You could also use something like Canva to make a vision board online, and that just makes it easier to find whatever image or word that you need and add it to your Canva board, and then you can print that out and put that somewhere prominent as well. It's not enough to just find the images and words. You have to also take action on what is on your board as well. So it's not enough to just do the board. We have to take steps as well towards what we want, but the vision board can just help us get really clear on what it is that we do want, because sometimes we don't even know. If you make vision boards, I would suggest making a new one, but going even bolder, putting on there even bigger dreams, bigger goals as well. So there's lots of information out there about how to really power up your vision board, in terms of doing things like seeing the images that you put on there as a memory, so you can really act as if something has already happened. So, and I will put a link to some videos in the description on how to really amp up your vision board as well. But I really think that that is a great way to really get focused. And usually when I do a vision board, it isn't long until I start to see a sales improvement, I start to get more inquiries, that kind of thing. So another really good thing to do, and it's a nice creative project that can take a couple of hours as well, and just it's nice to just get away from your work for a bit and do something creative that's going to benefit your business. And then the third card from my deck is energy healing. So this is talking about going for some Reiki or energy healing at this time. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling close to burnout, then it can be really difficult to manifest what we want. And when we're feeling like that, often we do see a drop in sales, and our business gets quieter just because our energy is low, our vibration is low, and we're not feeling great. So one really good way to turn that around quickly is to go for an energy healing session, go for some Reiki, some sound healing, some crystal healing. Give yourself some self-care, and this can only be a good thing and can only benefit you and your business, because it's working on your energy body. It's getting rid of any stuck energy there that might be holding you back as well. You might already have a practitioner that you go to for energy healing. So this is just a nudge to book that in, or you may be looking for somebody new, so you could put that out there in your networks for somebody to recommend you a new healer. This can also be a little nudge that it's a good time for you to train in energy healing as well. Even if it's something that you're not going to use in your business in terms of selling healing sessions, it could be really good for you for some self-healing. So you can learn how to use Reiki or energy healing on yourself when you're feeling stressed out, that kind of thing. Reiki 1 is all about healing yourself. So it might be that you're interested in doing that already, and this is just a nudge to go ahead and do that, because that's going to help you to keep your vibration high and help you to regulate your nervous system as well, which is so important when you have a business. Otherwise, it's easy to feel all over the place and to get really stressed out, especially when we're taking steps forwards as well. So energy healing could also help with any money blocks you might be feeling or that might be going on, which would be really helpful, because sometimes we don't know why we're blocked around money, and sometimes this can be healed as a result of having some energy healing as well. So they're just an example of some of the cards. I'll just show you some more from my deck. So I designed this to be like a business coach in your pocket. It's got 44 cards and there's 5 different sections relating to business. So there's self-development, marketing, self-care, spirituality, and money. The self-care section is the biggest because I really believe that it's so important to look after ourselves when we're self-employed. So you have the image on the front, and then the guidance is on the back just for ease as well. And yeah, I'll put the link to these in the description below. You can order the deck if you're in the UK. I'm working on getting a publisher so they can be sent far and wide. But any support with this, I would really be grateful for. And I do honestly believe that it's going to really help you in your business to get focused and just to give yourself that daily support that we all need as business owners as well. So now let's get some abundance cards and see what else comes out. Anything else that we might need to shift in terms of our abundance mindset. Okay, so we have wealth wounds. So I have a feeling that this is about the money blocks that I just mentioned. Also have eon of excess as well, which sounds amazing, like an era of being in excess, of having overflow of abundance. So let's have a look at what that means in a second. So let's look at the wealth wounds first, okay, because the majority of us have money blocks, have money wounds going back to childhood or even going back to past lives. And I think many of us have started to identify what these particular blocks are this time around. And if you have a business, these wounds are going to come up to be healed, okay? Like, you'll quickly realize what might be holding you back. If there are beliefs around wealthy people being bad or that money is bad in some way, then that is really going to hold us back in business, okay? So we need to identify and then heal these wounds so we can get the abundance that we deserve. And especially if you're doing spiritual work, your work is so needed. It's really needed that you're wealthy and you have enough to give to others, that you feel safe and secure with money, because that means that you're going to be able to give more as well. If you're feeling in lack or scarcity and you're a healer, that's really difficult to be in that place because you're giving from a place of lack. It's definitely talking about beliefs around money, limitations that we impose on ourselves around money. And yeah, we heard stuff in childhood, many of us, like money doesn't grow on trees. And we saw our parents like really watching what they spend, that kind of thing. And that can mean that we take that story on as adults. We either hoard our money, we overspend, we get into debt, those kind of things, and we struggle to manage money. It's quite normal. And these experiences, these memories around money can be playing on repeat in the background, even if we're not conscious of them. And then these stories and experiences eventually become beliefs, and this shapes how we look at the world completely, and why we might be struggling to make sales, to believe in ourselves, to put ourselves out there, to be visible. And as I said, these beliefs can come from our own life experiences, but they can also come from our parents, other family members, friends, or the culture that we live in as well. And this is definitely a really good time, if you're watching this, to get conscious of the beliefs that you're clinging to around money. It's talking about energetic or mental wounds that you carry around, stories that you tell yourself on repeat about money, and how do these stories influence the actions you take when it comes to money. And it would be a really good time after you've watched this if you can find some paper and just write down any beliefs that you feel like you have around money that are holding you back, and then do the work on healing those beliefs. And there's lots of different things we can do to heal the beliefs. We can try emotional freedom technique, some tapping around these beliefs to try and shift them. We can have coaching via a money or a sales coach who can really help to identify and turn those beliefs around. We can use Oracle and Tarot to help with these as well, with identifying the wounds and ways to overcome and heal them. And there's so many other different techniques that we can use to work on money wounds. There's things like past life regression and healing as well, to heal stuff that goes back before this life, because we can take vows of poverty in previous lives that still affect us this time around, okay? It's talking about forgiveness as well, forgiving the people that may have contributed to these beliefs, releasing whatever you need to release, and just getting very, very clear about what might be holding you back at this time, so you can allow new, more abundant beliefs to take root. And that I feel like we constantly are doing this work at each level we get to in business. There's always new beliefs that we need to let go of, that we unearth as we go along as well. So it's really important to get support with this, I would say. That's why I mentioned working with coaches, maybe joining Facebook groups of people that are money coaches that can help with this. There are loads of books around that deal with money mindset as well nowadays. And I will put some links in the description below to teachers and books that have helped me as well. And we've got Eon of Excess. I love this because this is talking about a new level of abundance for you, and you going into a new cycle at the time that you're watching this, a new era of prosperity. And this can be exciting, but it can also dredge up challenges that you didn't expect. When we're about to break through and go to the next level, you will be amazed at how much your ego starts acting up, starts creating problems, issues, situations that really make you struggle to step out into the spotlight, to struggle to get visible, because the beliefs that might still be there are working overtime to keep you safe and not let you go to the next level. Okay, so whether the shift has happened recently or is around the corner, you're being asked to meet any challenges with grace and composure. So try and keep calm. Try and identify the challenges that might be coming up for what they are, as just your ego creating blocks to stop you from moving forward. And I'm about to release this deck. It's February 2025. And I'm getting the copies of this deck probably this week. And the amount of things my ego has done, my ego is panicking because I'm about to step out there. I'm about to be sending the decks out to people to use. It's going to be more visible. And I basically got sick. I cancelled a photo shoot because I was panicking about doing that and the visibility that comes with that. I created arguments within my family. Like, there was so many things that I was doing to like act up, and it just got to the point where it was actually quite funny. So I think it's just about realizing what's going on and doing the things that you need to do to calm yourself down if you're about to step up into a new level. Okay, so now we're going to get to Angels of Abundance cards to see what other abundance guidance wants to come out for us. So we have got Pay Yourself First, and we have got Detox Your Friendships. Okay, so this is guidance about how to shift your energy to bring in more abundance. Pay Yourself First is just about making yourself your most important financial obligation. And often what happens is when we have money coming in, it's immediately allocated to paying bills, that kind of thing. And this is just asking you to set aside a portion of your income for yourself every time you are paid. And this can go into a separate account. And it's basically talking about savings, really. So paying yourself first can involve having a little pot when you get paid and putting a little bit of money in there just to give yourself treats, maybe, to make yourself feel good. But the main guidance with this card is about savings. So every sale you make, it's suggesting allocate a certain amount of those sales into a savings account at this time, because that's going to give you more stability, more security, and you're just going to feel better in general if you have some savings. You might already be somebody who saves a lot already, which is great, and this is confirmation that you're doing the right thing. But so many of us really struggle to save. I don't know about you, but since I've found I've got ADHD, I get really tempted to buy things that I don't really need, and I'm really having to work on that and instead put the money in the savings account that I was going to spend on something I don't need. But yeah, there's something here around putting some money aside for yourself from sales, just to give yourself little treats that you need, but also putting money aside for savings, because that's going to give you a stable foundation and just make you feel better in general in terms of an abundance mindset, which will then help to attract more sales because you'll be in a much more kind of stable place when it comes to money. And then we've got detox your friendships. So this is talking about your abundance flow being affected by the people who you spend time with. So be careful about your associations and relationships. Choose to be with people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. So yeah, it's really interesting because sometimes we don't realize it, but our energy, our abundance is influenced by the people that we're around. And it's important for us to be around people that inspire us, people that are like earning the amount of money we want to earn, be around those kinds of people. And it can be difficult, especially with family. You know, a lot of relationships with family members can be quite strained. Sometimes people don't understand why you're doing your own business, and they would much prefer it if you were just employed like they were. It feels much safer to them. So it's not that you need to cut people out of your life, but maybe it's more about spending less time with the people that maybe drag you down or question what you're doing, and then more time creating friendships with people, business owners that are going in the direction you want to go as well. I think they say that the 5 people that we spend the most time around is the kind of energy we're going to be at. So if you look around yourself and realize that the people that you're spending the most time with are maybe not doing the self-development work, they're a bit stuck, they complain a lot, that kind of thing, and just acknowledging that, and then just trying to figure out, okay, how can I spend more time either by myself, so I'm in my own energy, or with other people that are maybe more supportive, and that's going to have a direct effect on your abundance flow as well. Next, I want to get you a crystal card to see what crystal can support you the best at this time. Actually got 2, so let's take them both. So we've got celestite, we've got bronzite. Let's find out a bit more about celestite and how it can help you with your abundance. So celestite is a really good crystal to help with your connection to the angelic realm, to the universe, and it helps you to have clear communication with your guides. So if you don't already have some celestite, it's a really good crystal to get. Often it's like a cluster, and it'll be light blue or turquoise in color. And it's a really good one if you want to improve your channel of communication with your guides. Just if you've been struggling with finances or making sales, then using this crystal can really help you to connect with your guides, and they can really come in and help you achieve the prosperity you're looking for. And what you need to remember to do is ask for help, okay? Many of us are brought up not to believe in angels, guides, those things, and it's only when we go on a spiritual path that we start to realize that we are being guided. So if you're seeing this video, take some time out over the next few days and weeks and ask out loud in your head, please help me make more sales, please help me create more abundance in my life. And because often we forget to ask for help and we don't realize that they're actually there to help us, okay? Ask your guides, your angels, to align you with the prosperity, the abundance that you deserve and desire. Because there are ways of doing this that are easy. It doesn't have to be difficult. And this is a really good way to do things the easy way, so you're more in flow and you can just ask for help and then see what happens, see what signs you get, see what guidance that comes through that's going to help you. So celestite is a high vibration stone that opens and clears the upper chakras. When you meditate with it, it can help you to connect with your angels and guides. And it can also clear energetic attachments as well. So that links into this card about the people that you're around. So if you are having to spend time with lower energy people, which a lot of us do, then having some celestite in some jewelry or having it near you can help you with any energetic attachments that you're struggling with as well. But it's definitely the one to help you to connect with guides, with angels, to just help you to get more in alignment without having to do a huge amount of work, which I'm all for. And then we've got bronzite. Bronzite can help us release what we need to heal. It's a stone of strength supporting us as we allow everything that no longer serves us to fall away as well, which ties into the wealth wounds and maybe a bit of this detoxing people as well. Bronzite is a lot about trust, and it's talking about being mindful of others who you may be feeling right now while you're watching this that you maybe can't trust as much as you thought you could. This crystal bronzite is about loyalty and trust. And let the universe, let your guides send you signs when a situation or a person means that you should be cautious as well. So the fact that this is touching on this card is interesting because it's talking about detoxing from different people. And this is definitely asking you to, consider who you might be being loyal to, who maybe doesn't deserve the loyalty, and consider who you can trust in your life right now as well, because people might be taking more than they're giving. People might not be being honest with you, and all of that is going to drag your vibration down. But try not to get pulled into fear about being affected by the negativity of others. I know that's been mentioned quite a lot here. You will be at the point where you may be aware of some things and you can completely work with people that you trust, people that maybe you haven't met yet, to build a strong foundation for yourself going forward. I feel like because all this guidance has come out, that this means that I feel like people are going to be on the way out of your life and new people are going to be on the way in that are going to help you as well. And I feel like you may have gone through this process quite a few times, detoxing your circle, but this has made you stronger and wiser. And you can trust yourself when you know that maybe things around you aren't right, that there are some doubts around people. And yeah, let go of your self-doubt. And you can be trusted to make good decisions regarding money at this time as well. So even if things might have been difficult in the past and you may have made some dubious decisions, haven't we all? I feel like going forward, you need to trust yourself when it comes to financial decisions more, because you've got that experience. You've kind of been through the difficult times and you've come out the other side, and you know the kinds of things you should be doing to increase your abundance as well. And finally, we are going to get a money affirmation card for you just to bring this all together. I've actually got two that have jumped out. So we have, I know my value and I'm comfortable getting paid for it. So this is all around charging your worth. And we've got money flows to me with ease and grace, which is a lovely one as well, because it's already been mentioned with these crystals helping you to get more in alignment as well with the connection to your guides and angels, which is definitely going to help you get more into alignment. Oh, this one, I know my value and I'm comfortable getting paid for it, is about charging your worth, trying not to give too many discounts, sell yourself short, give away your services, your products for free. See, there's a balance, there's a scale here. So it's important to get the giving and receiving balanced, I feel, for you at this time. And many of us, especially in the beginning of business, we're definitely undercharging ourselves, kind of makes sense when we're building up and we're scaling the business. Sometimes it does feel like we have to start out charging less. It's important to look around and see what your competitors are charging to make sure that you're, charging in line with everybody else. And really realizing that there are people in the world that get paid abundantly for what you do. I think sometimes if we're not around people that are doing what we do, who are getting paid abundantly for it, it can feel kind of almost impossible to earn what you want to earn. But this card ties in to the wealth wounds as well, because it's all about knowing your worth, knowing your value, and then feeling comfortable getting paid the amount that you should get paid. And many of us, when we quote a high amount to a client, it brings up lots of feelings. It brings up a lot of self-doubt. We feel a bit sick. We feel a bit icky because we're charging a lot for what we do. But remember how much practice, how much experience you've got, how many qualifications you've done to get to this point where you can offer what you're offering, and you absolutely deserve to be abundantly compensated for it. And remember that the more you have, the more you can help other people. So you charging way less than what you're worth is not really helping anybody. It's not helping you, and it's not helping your client to value what you're doing either. So I feel like if you're seeing this, maybe look at your pricing, look around at what other people are charging, and just check that you're charging enough, basically, is what I'm getting with that. Then money flows to me with ease and grace. It's just such a nice affirmation to be able to call upon, especially when things are maybe feeling a bit stuck and stagnant. We haven't had any sales for a while. And then we can just have this kind of affirmation and switch our thinking and try and let go of where the money is supposed to come from as well. I think a lot of us, we have what we're offering and we only think that money can come from those offers, but money can come from anywhere, absolutely anywhere. And often we close ourselves off from it coming from unexpected places. So maybe today, just repeat this affirmation quite a lot. Money flows to me with grace and ease. Maybe even have that as a screensaver. And just try and, if you're starting to feel stressed about money, panicking, try and just repeat that a few times and see how much it calms you down. And maybe think about a time when you did feel in flow with money, if you're not feeling that right now as well, just to get into this energy. This is talking about money flowing in rather than it going out, but we do need, usually it's good to have an equal flow going on, which is represented by the scales here. But I feel like this is talking about what you're receiving as well. So you deserve to receive, you deserve to be in flow with money, you deserve to get paid what you're worth. So I feel like these two link in together really well. And yeah, I really hope you like this reading. There was some practical guidance there, and then we got into energy and how these actions can help you to increase your abundance practically. Maybe look at having these crystals, but you don't need to. You can just take on board the guidance that came from those crystals and use the affirmations as well if you're feeling panicked or struggling to charge your worth or to feel in the flow with money. I feel like this was a lot around money wounds, money beliefs that no longer serve you, and healing those. And then practically we've got the website work, doing a vision board for your business, maybe based on money and what you want to achieve in terms of money, and energy healing as well, which is gonna clear out stress, panic, overwhelm, and just help you to get back in balance again, which is a good place to be while you're implementing these changes, just to increase your abundance in different ways as well. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, comment. I would love to hear your feedback. It really helps me. And if you like the look of the deck, don't forget you can pre-order the deck in the link in the description below, and I will be able to get that sent out to you very soon because I'm expecting the decks this week. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.